My name is Hallie Bodie. I'm a program manager in the Center for Global Law and Policy at SU School of Law. I'll be giving a very brief overview of how I navigate the UN Careers website, which I have learned from both speaking to a variety of folks who have worked at the United Nations, hearing their careers talks in the past, and then additionally speaking with our alumni who have had UN careers. So on the main career page, if you navigate down, there's of course the general job search that we're used to seeing. This would be best for students and alumni who have a significant amount of experience. For most of us, this isn't really the best way to go look for a job at the UN. Down at the bottom of the page, if you scroll all the way to the bottom, you can see there's a variety of different links down here. This is a much better place to start if you're earlier in your legal career. There's a couple of opportunities that I'd like to highlight and different things that I'd like to explain as part of this talk. First and foremost, there's the Young Professionals Program. This is an initiative for recruitment that they have for international civil service careers that is for folks that are under the age of 32 at the time of applying. I have yet to see a single position in this program that is for people over the age of 32. That means, unfortunately, if you're over 32 like me, this won't be an opportunity for you. However, if you're early in your career, this is a great place to get started for an actual position. Um, this is something that I also want to highlight. Generally speaking, their competitive language exams are for things like interpretation and different things like that. You'll see here they've got the things like the translators, the editors, and stuff like that. However, the reason that I want to highlight this is that there are specific professional jobs and specific contractual work or temporary employment appointments that need languages. And so taking a look at the tests and considering looking at the tests is important if you have that language proficiency, because you can actually look at specific language careers pages as well. So I just want to highlight that if you have that language proficiency. I do recommend adding yourself to their general talent pool to get their email notifications. You can put some information in there about you for to try to put yourself on the best listserv. This link here, again, that takes us back to that kind of bigger, broader pool of jobs. And this, again, is generally speaking going to be sort of best for folks that are later in their career, just generally speaking. Um, Over here, you've got the consultancies. Even if you have been working for a while, I have heard repeatedly from folks that have worked at the UN that many of them had their jobs actually convert from what started as temporary consultancies and contracts. It was a great way for the UN to get to know them. And so, thus, once they sort of got comfortable in that work, they were actually recruited into positions because they knew the team, they kind of knew how to answer the questions, and they were, just a little bit more connected, and so they were able to better kind of find that right role for themselves. So a lot of folks have recommended looking at these, even if you do have a significant amount of professional experience. Some of these consultancies and contracts actually require many, many years of experiences. The internships link is going to be best for most of our students and grads. This has got all kinds of different opportunities for internships. You can take a look at those. Um, I do want to highlight this, though. The volunteers opportunity, I think, is something that I've seen that was described to me by one of the folks at the UN Careers team, and they basically what they wanted me to highlight was that it's possible to actually sort these by duration. And you can see a lot of these are actually online. So for example, if I click on this one right here, this is a 1 week volunteer opportunity. It's really one item. They're looking for someone to design an infographic for them. And so if you scroll down, the assignment country is Zimbabwe, so you still get to kind of work with folks over there. They've got the sustainable development goal that it's tied to. Again, it's not very many hours, 1 week, fully online. You can sort of get the complete description and what the task is. And then you can go on ahead and kind of volunteer skills. if your resume, if your resume is really lacking in any type of experience, we do want to generally see legal experience highlighted. But if you're really lacking in any professional experience, this can be a great way to sort of start to get some experience. Of course, you're going to want to look for things that are a little bit better to highlight, maybe for your legal career in terms of the type of work. So things that sort of tie to research skills, or things that tie to some type of advocacy. Um, and even I would say actually that even an infographic, if you frame it correctly, can still sort of tie to that advocacy piece, right? And so I think thinking about, and again, like the type of research, whatever you put on there, that again could still sort of tie to those legal skills. So look at and consider some of these as well when you're exploring. The last thing that I want to highlight is the UN has a really nice link to all of its organizations. Many of these organizations do have career opportunities that appear on the UN Careers website, but I feel like sometimes I see jobs that I don't think are actually posted correctly, or aren't being copied correctly for whatever reason. And so I do encourage you to kind of check out these specific websites and just see if there's anything else that's posted. It's also a great way to learn about specific UN organizations that you may be interested in. All right, I hope this little video was helpful in getting you started as you dive deeper into your UN career.